Welcome to Woodcraft of Dayton. My name is Tony Buran. I'm one of the instructors here at the store. And today we're going to talk about scroll saws. We're going to talk about selecting a scroll saw for yourself and how to set it up. We're also going to talk about some blade selections. And during this series we're going to talk about cutting projects and different things you can do with your scroll saw, including stack cutting and just cutting some different projects for yourself and different materials that you can use for your projects. Another method of things that you can do with a scroll saw is called compound cutting. And compound cutting is where you're cutting two sides of the pattern. And as you can see, we have a pattern on a small piece of 1x2 that has a face and an edge. And what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this pattern just a little bit because we've used this for a different pattern. But what we're going to do is we're going to end up cutting a ribbon. And what we want this pattern to ideally is that you have the face and you have the edge so that the ribbon has some dimension to it. So what we're going to do is, with the skills that we've used before, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do an inside cut, and then we're going to cut an outside edge, and then we're going to clamp it together, we're going to turn it on edge, and we're going to cut the other edge out, so this is what we end up with. So let's get started. We'll go ahead and we'll do the inside cut first. And again, like we've done before, we're going to release our blades, and we're going to poke it through in the middle to cut this inside cut. And again, sharp blades are always important. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut the inside cut. And again, taking our time. We don't have to be in any particular hurry to do this. We're not in a race to get this finished. Cut at your own speed. Take your time. Make the appropriate cuts. And again, what I like to do is I like to cut the bottom half first and then the top half. And again, it's personal preferences to what you get used to doing. And everybody's kind of got their own little way of cutting. This is what's most comfortable for me, and I'm sure as you talk to other scrollers, they're going to tell you different ways of how to cut things and the way they like to cut it. And like we've talked in earlier sessions, it's practice. Nothing more than practice as to what you'd like to have. I like to make sure my points are points. We'll go back and make sure we hit everything the way we like it. And then we'll cut the outside on this pattern. And again, it's no different cutting this pattern as it is to cutting anything else. It's just that you're going to cut the wood in two different directions, and the pattern adheres two different ways. Now that we've got the middle cut out, we're going to go ahead and work to cut the outsides. And again, I like starting at the bottom to keep my good work, my project to the right side of the blade. And again, we'll take the time, we'll cut around this. Compound patterns come in all different shapes and sizes, and again, you go to your local Woodcraft store. We'll point you in the right direction to pick patterns that you like to have. And we have a wide selection of books, and again, you can get patterns on the internet. Maybe your friends even have some that you might want to try. You can see I overshot my turn. I like to back into my corner. We'll come back out making a nice point. Now it's important, now that we've cut this hole outside, we don't want this piece to fall out. As you can see, it does. We have the basic shape, but we want it to stay inside. So what we're going to do, and this becomes very hard to hold on to under the saw, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some blocks to each side to hold the pattern together, and we're going to use a clamp. Now the trick to this is, remember, when you put the clamp on, you got to make sure that you can still get to the pattern on on the clamps. A lot of people make the mistake, you put it in there, you can't get in through the saw, so we want to make sure we do that. And this also gives you a little bit of a handle to be able to turn on. So again, we're going to raise our foot, and we're going to cut this side of the pattern. Again, taking our time. It is a little thicker, so it will take a little longer to cut. So again, take your time. Again, just taking your time as you're cutting. We're in no hurry to have this done. Okay, now that we have this all cut, we're going to take our clamp off and our spacers, and we're just going to take this apart. You can see it all slides apart, and what you end up with is a three-dimensional ribbon. So again, with some practice, you can cut ribbons. There's a lot of different Christmas ornaments that you can cut, and out of all different type material. Again, it's just practice. And again, visit your local Woodcraft and find a book that's got patterns in it that you'll like to have. We appreciate you watching our demo series. We hope you got something out of this. If we can be any more help from you, we encourage you to come on down to the Woodcraft of Dayton, talk to us. We'll help you out with what we can. We'll set you up with books and equipment. We're here to help you make wood work.